I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about how you organize your collaboration with so many of these departments that are involved in those technologies and the vignettes. And so I'm thinking, supply chain, IT, biomedical engineering, facilities, protective services, pharmacy, communications. Right, there's probably well-intentions on let's streamline it, but how do you here at Texas Children's organize that collaboration to make sure that it does improve the patient's outcome and the experience?
It's evolving, just like technology evolves. You will see that the last panel of the day will really bring that to light. You will see folks from several of the areas you mentioned, and we'll be able to see how we collaborate. One of the key things is getting the right folks in the meetings that are making decisions when it comes to new facilities, new technology, and do you have all the partners? And we've seen that especially over the last 6 months, getting key individuals that have that different aspect, from a clinician's aspect, from a IS aspect, from facilities and planning, and making sure that those dialogues are open. It's evolving, it's improving. I think we've already seen success by, again, the openness that we have at this organization, the willingness to have these folks come together. And you will definitely see that at the end with the last panel of the day.
Well, and I'm going to be the realist and say that we're not perfect. We still have some things to learn in those areas. One of the goals of my group right now is to ensure that there are clinicians inserted into our request for service process. So, for example, when someone has a new project idea, or they want to bring in a new product, has someone from a clinical perspective looked at that idea before it gets to the point where we want to purchase a new device, or we want to build a new building or that sort of thing, so that we have that perspective up front versus 8 months down the road, we've gotten into this project and, as Gail said earlier, the plug's in the wrong place in the room. Just a small example, but those are things that we continue to evolve. We continue to look at our processes over and over again to figure out a better way to get it done. One of the things that Trudy and Dr. Shook, who's our Chief Safety Officer, say quite frequently is that you have to be preoccupied with failure. And that's something that we're learning here at Texas Children's. How do you constantly figure out a way to do it better? And so as we are in our day-to-day roles, I frequently get calls from Julie, and she'll say, oh, you need to know about this. The red flag goes up, and we really have to be there for one another and be responsible for it as an organization.
PDSA, I'm sorry, Jackie. PDSA, Plan, Do, Study, Act. Mm-hmm. And that is a methodology that's used in various places in this organization, and it's a mindset that you have to think constantly.
Yeah, I was just going to add that it has to be a conscious thought at all times. Who else is this going to impact? Who's this going to affect? And we found from opening up a new campus, we thought we had everything perfect. We thought the facility alone being so beautiful, everything would be really smooth. But we learned that we made mistakes and we forgot key stakeholders. So it's just always has to be your forethought. Who is this going to impact? And how do I get to them? Definitely.